Howdy there, food fans, it's Bobby, and today we are fixing to make some delicious barbecue chicken meal prep. We're bringing the smokehouse to my kitchen, but in a much healthier way. With my barbecue pulled chicken tossed in honey bourbon barbecue sauce, served with barbecue baked beans, and tangy and crunchy slaw. So do me a favor, subscribe to my channel because I have new videos every Friday morning and I want you, my fellow foodies, to be the first one to see them. So let's get our barbecue on, y'all. Yeehaw! Let's start by making the beans because they take the longest. In front of me, I have 1 cup of black-eyed peas that have been soaking overnight. You always know what they look like because it looks like someone punched them in the face. And do me a favor, use dried beans and soak them overnight. They taste way better and have a much better texture than the stuff out of the cans, and these will not make you fart. The stuff out of the can will. Trust me, I know from experience, dude. All right, so I'm gonna dump these in my pot here. And you could also use pinto or kidney beans for this, no problem. Then go ahead and cover the beans with about 1 inch of cold water. Now I want this to be one flavorful pot of beans, so I'm gonna halve an onion, then roughly chop a carrot, and then smash a few cloves of garlic, and dump them all in the pot. Next I'm gonna grab a teaspoon of dried thyme and add that, a teaspoon of olive oil, and a couple cracks of fresh pepper. Now my instinct would be to throw a big old pinch of salt in there, but putting salt in now will double or triple the cooking time. Learn from my experience, so we'll do that later on, which is kind of like counterintuitive to anything I cook because I always salt in the beginning, but hold back for now. Now to make the barbecue pulled chicken, I have 10 bone-on, skin-on chicken thighs. Now you guys might like chicken breast, but chicken thighs are where it's at. They have so much flavor. But you could do this with chicken breast, just make sure it's bone-on chicken breast. Let's season these guys with a good amount of salt and pepper on each side. Now, even though we're not gonna eat the skin, it's important to buy them with the skin on because it's gonna make sure that our chicken thighs don't overcook in the oven. You can think of them kind of like a protective raincoat, maybe a raincoat of deliciousness, and later on we'll just peel it off and shred the chicken. It's gonna be so juicy. And just flip them over and hit them with a little more salt and pepper. So the beauty of chicken thighs is that they have a little more fat than chicken breasts. So they're a little more forgiving, which means they're harder to overcook. Now pop these in a 400-degree oven for 1 hour. Once the beans come to a boil, reduce it down to a simmer and cook them for 30 to 45 minutes until the beans are nice and creamy. Then we'll season them and make them super flavorful. And while the chicken is cooking, we can make my honey bourbon barbecue sauce better than anything you can buy at the store. It has 16 ingredients, but I guarantee you have most of them in your pantry. It's so good. This is how you make it. Add 1 cup of ketchup to a pot, along with ½ a cup each of bourbon and water. The bourbon is optional, but let's be serious, it's not. Go in with a 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of molasses, and 2 tablespoons of honey. Add 2 tablespoons each of soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce, and a tablespoon of Dijon mustard mixed in with apple cider vinegar. Spice it up with 2 chipotle peppers finely diced. Add a combo of ancho chili, garlic, and onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke. Pop it on the heat, bring it to a simmer for 30 minutes, and cook it till it's nice and saucy. Let's give this sweet elixir a taste. I might be a Yankee from the north, but slap your mama, that is some good barbecue sauce, y'all. The beans are just about ready, my friends, but before we season them even more, let's fish out that onion, carrots, and garlic. Now the first 2 ingredients are gonna surprise you. I have a teaspoon of soy sauce and ½ a teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. Add these to the pot. Now I'm not making this into an Asian dish, I promise. This is umami boosters. They have a deep, earthy flavor, and adding a little bit will add such a rich flavor to this dish. Trust me, I do it all the time. A pinch of red pepper flakes. And last but definitely not least is salt. This is basically a bland pot of beans, so it needs a lot of love in the salt department. So start with a good teaspoon, and then give it a mix. And then give it a taste because you really never know how much salt you need until you taste it. That's perfect. Let it cook for 5 more minutes, then we'll put the final touches on it. To finish off the beans and give them a nice hit of freshness, I'm gonna chop up a big old bunch of fresh parsley here and add it to the pot that's off the heat. And then add 1 red bell pepper that's been finely diced. That'll add a nice crunch. Give it a good mix up. It's amazing how a humble pot of beans can have so much flavor. Plus, they're high in fiber, protein. I know I call them barbecue baked beans, but there's so much sweetness and spiciness in the chicken already. I don't want to overdo it. Plus, barbecue baked beans just sounded better in the intro. Just go with it. It's been an hour. Let's check it before we wreck it with the chicken. Yes, dude, look at that. These are looking perfect. That is golden brown and delicious. And don't worry about those juices. We'll do shots of those later on. They make you strong like bull. Now, the chicken is really, really hot. It has to cool down for about 15 minutes. Otherwise, we're gonna burn our paws off. Meanwhile, you can make my red cabbage and Napa cabbage slaw. It's the same slaw I made back in my ground beef tacos video. It's crunchy, tangy, and creamy, and this is how you do it. Finely slice half a head each of red and Napa cabbage and add it to a large bowl. Finely slice half a bunch of green onions. Grate 2 or 3 carrots directly into the bowl using a box grater, and add a 1/4 cup of pepitas or pumpkin seeds. For the dressing, add the juice of half a lime to a bowl with half a cup of mayonnaise. Add 1 teaspoon of low sodium soy sauce and a 1/4 teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. Add a nice pinch of salt, a couple cracks of black pepper, and whisk it all up, add it to the slaw, and mix well. Let's give it a taste. I also added some raisins for sweetness. This slaw is so crunch-tastic, it's creamy, it's tangy, and if you guys want to see my ground beef taco recipe with this slaw, check it out. I have a video. It'll up your Taco Tuesday game, seriously. Let's pull some chicken, y'all. Let me grab a couple chicken thighs. Then let's take the chicken skin off. It should come off in one, perfect piece, y'all. Look at that. You guys, when I say it's crispy chicken skin, that is crispy. Literally one of my favorite things in the world. And like I said, the beauty of keeping it on during the cooking process is that it insulates the chicken thighs and keeps them nice and moist and prevents them from drying out. So you did your work, little buddy. Now go retire. And just grab a fork and literally just pull the meat and look at that chicken thigh. You guys, juicy as can be, tender, falling off the bone. Now you wanna buy chicken with the bone on because it adds so much flavor. And like I said, if you're gonna do this with chicken breast, do bone-on chicken breast and make sure you don't overcook it. Otherwise, you'll be eating barbecue chicken jerky for dinner and it ain't gonna be moist and tender like this. And then if you still have some chunky monkeys like this guy, just pick up a knife and chop it into smaller pieces. You guys know I always wanna hook you up, so I also have a chicken meal prep recipe that is thebomb.com. But guys, leave a comment below and let me know what your favorite chicken recipes are. Fried chicken, chicken tikka masala, peri-peri chicken. I wanna hear them all. All right, this looks perfect. And it actually looks a lot like pulled pork, just way healthier. I have a clean bowl here. I'm just gonna transfer all my chopped chicken to that. And now we're gonna take our Money barbecue sauce and put it all over the chicken. Start with like a 1/4 cup. You could always add more, but you can't take it away. And give it a nice mix up. This is looking so good. Let's add some more. Sometimes food just sounds good. My friends, listen to this. This food is like whispering sweet, sweet nothings of deliciousness into my ear. I am drooling right now. I think at this point, it is proper to do a little bit of quality control. Let me just grab a little piece of chicken here. Dude, that is smokehouse worthy. The chicken is so moist, and that sauce is tangy, sweet, spicy, and hit my palate in all the right places. Let us make our meal prep containers before I devour this like a dog on camera. I'm gonna grab some chicken here, just tuck it in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner, except barbecue chicken, baby. And then some of our black-eyed peas, and then some slaw. Now the slaw can get soggy if you dress it too far in advance, so either do it the morning of or ideally right before you want to eat it, and it's gonna be perfect. And there it is, y'all, all 5 meal prep containers for the week. Now I think I should try everything together in one bite to make sure they taste right. I mean, it makes sense to me, right? Little chicken, little beans, a little slaw for the ultimate bite. You guys, healthy and easy barbecue on the go. There is so much flavor. The chicken is moist, the sauce is tangy, it's crunchy from the slaw, and those beans are so tasty. So there it is, guys, barbecue chicken meal prep. The recipe is below in the description box. Leave a comment and let me know what other meal prep recipes you want to see. If you want to see some more meal prep recipes, I have a chicken and a steak meal prep that'll hook you up. I will see you next week. In the meantime, #keep on cooking. See ya.